M&D recommends.
I would give it a 9.2 out of 10.
I would give it a 9.25.
Okay.
So we'll round it. We'll say 9.3 on that one. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Memes
And Dreams.
And today we are back again with episode 4. We're going to be kind of getting back into the flow of things. But before we get into any of that, we want to go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. His new hookah. No, it's the same one. It's been a bit. All right.
Yep.
It's been a little bit. We have not really uploaded in a while, and life just got in the way. A lot of stuff going on, but of course that's no real excuse. I think in finding that out, we also kind of found out that it was not always easy to put this production together, just because of the nature of the way we do this podcast. So for that reason, we are announcing that we will be releasing, including this one, 3 final episodes to close out season 3 with 6 total, with of course an episode 6 season finale.
I'm just gonna say it's a special episode that you should all watch.
Yeah. Stay tuned for something special at the end of the season this time around. And we're going to be, it's our farewell tour, just because, I think that, I'm just speaking on my end here, but we've done what we wanted to do with this, and I think it's time to kind of put a bow on it.
Yeah. Just do a real, look at the flowers, Lenny. And,
oh my... We're going to send it off sweet. Jason and I have differing perspectives on what sweet looks like. So that's just kind of a little PSA we wanted to get out just, with the beginning of episode 4 here. But of course, as always, we're really happy that you are here listening, if you're listening, watching if you're watching. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Jason, tell us trend of the week.
Yeah, so trend of the week, we narrowed it down to 1, and it's going to be the House of Comments trend. It's pretty much making fun of Instagram Reel users that refuse to get TikTok because they think they're better than everybody else.
What is going on in the House of Comments?
And it'll be that audio over a trend that happened months ago, and people just now finding out about it.
This is it right here.
Is going on in the House of Commons.
You're the one that we picked. And then, of course, we'll be putting out a little special Memes and Dreams version of it.
Yep, like always.
So keep an eye on our TikTok, because that's where you'll see it first before anywhere else.
Yeah, we kind of did a impromptu trend a couple weeks ago, right? At the Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah, and yeah, if you pop in there, you'll see there's the older video we have there of the marshmallows.
I really thought that was gonna pop off. I thought that was great.
Oh yeah, that's muy delicioso.
Got on my face.
Look at my face.
You know what I mean?
Or like, yeah, that's a good one. It's the TikTok is delicioso and the sound we use is delicioso. So check that out. Check out the page if you haven't already. It's fun stuff. Fun stuff. Cool. So yeah, that's our trend of the week. And you know what? For the runner-up, because I'm just now realizing what you meant by that in the middle of the episode, we'll go ahead and call it runner-up. Jason, you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So the other trend that I thought of like 5 minutes before we started recording was it's people running down the street at night with random objects in their hands to the sound of "Ring of Fire" by Johnny Cash, and I just think it's hilarious. People have the most random shit in their hands just running down the street in the middle of the night. It's great. I love it.
If we do it, it will be here. No promises, but it will be here. Now it's on the table. Now we kind of can't not do it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's trend of the week. TikTok, as always, is it's popping off with some new content. There's always
changing.
It's always changing. There's always it's a lot of stuff going on, but of course, for at least 3 more episodes, you can keep it locked right here on Memes and Dreams to know exactly what to look out for. So let's go ahead and get into the topics here. Now, the first topic that we have, it's a quick one, it's a short one, and of course, I'll go ahead and get us into it here. But recently, there was the release of the Yeezy Gap collection. Yeezy Gap collaboration is officially out, and select Gap stores. I haven't checked my local Gap to find out for sure, but they're actually housing the newest season of his clothing. Now, if you haven't seen this, you haven't heard about this yet, he's Ye, right, formerly known as Kanye West, is now under fire for not allowing the Gap stores to actually display this season of clothing on hangers like you would traditionally in a department store, but rather there's just a center space with like 3 giant kind of looking trash bags, sort of trash bags.
Yeah, it's trash bags.
But they're full of the clothes, like a bargain bin or some shit.
Yeah, you have to go digging to find your size or whatever style.
And you gotta go, you gotta go through it and like find whatever stuff you're gonna buy for some shekels. You know what I mean? So
people are getting mad because.
What are your thoughts, Jason?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really care about it that much. Like Kanye's just gonna
Mr. Cool Guy.
I mean, Kanye's gonna do his thing no matter what.
Very Pete Davidson of you.
He's gonna do his thing no matter what. He doesn't care what people think. But I did see people were comparing it to like a homeless shelter in a way, like just the kind of style it was set up in. So I think people got mad at that. But he's gonna do it whether you like it or not, and that's what Kanye is.
I think I like it, and and of course, right, and that's and the reason why he is gonna do what he's gonna do, right, because he put the work in, he made it happen. But I think that one of the big things is he's kind of changing the way that we think about fashion on every level, which includes the way we buy fashion. I think it's kind of cool because it's a fun use of the real estate. It has a bargain bin kind of aspect to it, but I kind of like that because it's like, it makes me think of people just like rushing to it, trying to, fighting over the clothes, trying to, I can see how people, are looking at it as like a homeless kind of influence thing. I guess I can see that, but at the same time, I know that's probably not how he means it to come off. This is just something that he wants to really put his stamp on, and I'm guessing he does that through marketing and advertising without actually marketing and advertising.
Yeah,
because
we're talking about it.
We're talking about
Yeah.
it. So the publicity alone is like, cool. That's, what that turns into? It's not good press. It's not bad press. It's dollar bills. So I think it's kind of interesting. And obviously, if I didn't show a picture of it already, I'm going to show a picture of you. But Yeah, so that's kind of fun. Moving on to the next topic here. Going into the
Hang on. Would you, if you go to a Gap store and you're looking for a certain thing, like, would you fight somebody at the trash bags for a piece of Kanye West clothing?
Yeah. If it was my size, yeah. I'll be like, you can get a size up. Okay? Throw some bows, you know what I mean? I probably would. I wouldn't be proud of it. I wouldn't go talking to people about it, but I'd do it. This elderly woman at the Gap really got it today, Jason. I hope she's okay. I would. Here's a video of me fighting someone. All right, so now moving into the TV world, the world of television, streaming, content, things.
Rick and Morty's back.
Rick and Morty's back.
Well, coming back. Was it
Yeah, it's not back yet.
September 6th?
It's on the way. I think September 6th.
Yeah.
This date right here. I'm pretty sure the 6th. It's not the 4th. I think maybe that was like last year. September 6th. Late birthday present for your boy. Very excited about it. In an interview, I think Justin Roiland himself said that this season they put a lot of like elbow grease into it. They're really focused in on it because there were complaints about the last couple of seasons due to like a new writing staff, like new writers with new kind of takes, influence on what these characters should be doing, what stories they should be telling. But I believe that this next season is going to have, from what I understood, but both like Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon's like real focus and attention. Because as you know, they've been putting out other stuff. I know Justin Roiland's been busy with things like Solar Opposites and a few other like some animated projects, this and that. But I think this is where we get like
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the last few seasons. Don't get me wrong.
They're good.
They were good.
Could have been better.
But they could have been more consistently better.
Yeah.
And I think it was like good episode, weird episode, great episode. Yeah, it's the situation that we're in there. So
I'm excited. The trailer looked good. All different kinds of scenarios that happened this season. Rick and Morty have a podcast and a clip, so that's kind of cool. You know, they're just like us.
They're just we're Rick and Morty. So I think I'll be buying that season pass for sure. Yeah, I mean, because with Rick and Morty, it's the only show I do not stream. I buy it so I can have it. And I can watch it as many times. Well, okay, you can do that in streaming. I like owning it. I like downloading it. Maybe I'm gonna watch that hoe on a plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Jason over here. Not a planes guy, huh? No. Nah, not a planes guy. Very excited for the new season, and we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We'll probably cover it at our pace.
I don't know when we're going to record the next episode, so...
I watch out for episode 5 3 years from now. Now, watch out for episode 5 when I'm sure the timing will line up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least we'll be able to talk about the first episode.
Yeah.
Keep it locked. Dreams and dream. So moving on to some other TV that we've been. Now, this is some streaming content, some exclusive streaming content here. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Jason for this next one here.
Yeah. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Severance on Apple TV Plus. I feel like it's not really talked about yet. Like, I don't think it's caught on to mainstream.
Yeah, people aren't talking about Severance like they should be talking about Severance.
Should be in consideration for one of the best shows this year, maybe ever.
I believe they received, it was 14 Emmy nominations.
Yeah.
Right here, boom. Which, like, well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved considerations there.
So it pretty much is, I don't want to like spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but it's Adam Scott is the main star in it, and he works at this company called Lumen Industries, and he works on the severed floor, which is they pretty much plant a microchip inside his brain that severs his memories, his work memories and out of work memories. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't know his outside life when he's at work. He has no memories of his family or anything. And then when he goes home, he has no memories of work. It's pretty much so that they can do weird things and not know about it, like weigh on their conscience.
That's the big piece, right? Is like you don't remember anything from work when you're out of work. You don't remember you don't know what your life is like when you're at work because you don't have any of those memories there.
Yeah,
completely severed.
And I believe it's produced by Ben Stiller, and he directed a couple episodes, which were phenomenal. Like some of the best television I've seen.
Ben Stiller,
like
what the f?
That came out of nowhere. Like when the credit hit, it said Ben Stiller. I was like, what? Like holy shit! I did not know he had that style in him.
He's good. Yeah. He can do dramatic thriller.
Yeah,
it's dope. It's so dope. And I will, credit where credit's due. My brother got me onto it. He recommended it. Undersold it as fuck, but like he definitely, he put me onto that. And,
and like the whole cast, the supporting actors, all did amazing. Like the guy that played Dylan, I don't know his real name, but yeah, he was amazing. He was like a good comedy for the show to like break off from the seriousness for a second. He did phenomenal. Christopher Walken was in it. He had a good guest role.
Mm-hmm. John Turturro.
Yeah.
What is it? Sneaky.
And the guy that played Milchix, I thought he did phenomenal. He was...
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He deserves that too.
The whole dancing scene.
That's all we'll say. That's all we'll say there, yeah.
I just love it.
Defiant Jazz. Get to that episode and then go ahead and finish the rest of it too. It's phenomenal.
So, would you ever consider being severed?
Here it is. This is why you come to Memes and Dreams for your content. What a question.
I would.
You would?
Yeah.
I would probably do it.
Yeah.
I would consider it very seriously.
I mean, like, I don't have to go home stressed from work. Like, I don't remember anything that would keep me up at night. Like,
but there are some more considerations, more factors.
Yeah.
You know. Can you imagine we do that and we end up like we're working together, but we don't know. Like, yeah, I don't remember much, but I have this foggy memory of some dickhead at work. Chase is like, I have a foggy memory of a dickhead as well. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
And we're just talking about each other the whole time.
Right.
I can't wait for season 2.
There's such a cliffhanger at the end of season 1. I was so mad.
So exciting. It's so exciting. I love it. I was
so mad when it ended. I was like, no, just give me more, please. Like, I hate that I found out about it. Like, I guess it's still kind of early. I think it premiered in like April.
It was this year.
Yeah. But I really hope season 2 comes back fast. Like, I need that shit. I need to know what happens.
Yeah, season 2. Can't wait for it. And so make sure if you have an Apple TV Plus subscription, check it out. If you don't, buy an iPhone, and then they'll give you like a year or something.
Yeah, they'll give you a year.
Yeah. So check it out. Severance official M&D recommends.
I would give it a 9.2 out of 10.
I would give it a 9.25.
Okay.
So we'll round it. We'll say 9.3 on that one. Official reviews there. Locked in. Blammo. Moving on with next TV topic here. Another show, also a streaming exclusive that came out very, very recently, I think within the last like month or two, is and also just get out of the way. Props to my bro for Robbie for putting me on this because I wasn't going to watch it otherwise, and then I finally came around to it. Fantastic. It's a project by Nathan Fielder, and it's called The Rehearsal. It is I believe it's an HBO Max exclusive, and the premise of this show is f***ing nuts.
It's hard to describe.
It's hard to describe. Essentially, Nathan Fielder creates these situations that are replica situations of real life things that happen from like real life people. And so he gives them the opportunity to rehearse certain conversations, certain moments in their lives, certain things that they need to rehearse. And they do it so much so with like fake actors, a fake environment and everything.
He built a bar.
He built a full bar, a full replica bar with everything included. I think even with like a fake working staff.
Yep.
All to just check out what would happen in every conceivable possibility.
It's insane watching it unfold.
It's nuts.
Like Trish the Dish.
Trish the Dish.
Yeah, the
It's your
first episode,
legs.
this guy, like, he doesn't have a master's degree, and he told all his trivia friends that he does. And, like, even to the point, like, one of his friends was sending him job
Applications.
yeah, that required, like, a master's.
Yeah.
And, like, it, like, weighed on him so much that he wanted to tell her, but he didn't know how she would react. And so they spent like weeks rehearsing it.
They're prepping everything about it, and it's so cool because
And he would even rehearse the rehearsal, which was just another layer of craziness.
yeah, Nathan Fielder would set up a double-layered Inception-style rehearsal situation. It's nuts, and the episode was great. The whole season was great, but that's the kickoff episode. Starts strong, and it only gets like crazier from there.
Yeah, he goes to like this woman that wants to see if she would want to have a kid and raise it. So they start off with like an infant and then age it like 3 years every week or something like that. And like it starts with like a baby actor, toddler actor, teenager.
It's cool.
It's insane.
It's weird because there's so many layers that you're kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But he sneaks the humor in areas you don't expect there to be the humor.
Yeah.
So
And, like, I've never watched Nathan Fielder, like any of his
Me
older
neither.
stuff before. So
like Nathan for You and all that.
this was a great introduction to his stuff, and it was phenomenal. Like last episode, got a little emotional.
Intense. That's all we'll say about that.
Yeah.
But like, we don't want to give too much away about it. But go watch it if you're into
I'd highly
like,
recommend it.
if it's weirdness, weird humor, comedy
Real awkward.
out of
He's
real
just an
life
awkward
situations.
guy.
That's yeah, he does really well.
Yeah.
He does really well with it. So check it out. It's on HBO Max. So if you have a subscription, or if AT&T jammed it down your throat along with an overly priced plan for terrible coverage, then there you go. That's my experience personally. Don't sue me, AT&T. That would suck.
Dealing with enough already.
Right after we close out the farewell tour of Memes and Dreams, I get a subpoena.
Right.
Motherfuckers at AT&T singular. Southwestern Bell. So speaking of TV shows, especially ones coming out recently, exclusives. We got another exclusive. We got because we got to talk about it. We always talk about it. We got to talk about it. Let's talk about the MCU. With the latest TV show that's out, SheHulk. SheHulk. Do you want to give a little premise here?
So She-Hulk they're introducing a new character to the MCU. She's the cousin of Bruce Banner. She's an attorney. And they start off the show like they're driving in a car. This alien ship appears out of nowhere, which they never really went back to, but I assume they will later in the season. Like, what the were those aliens doing?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Episode 1 is out, by the way.
Yeah.
Is what we're talking about. This is the first episode.
And then they have a car wreck. Bruce's blood gets into her body from a cut and gives her the Hulk gene. I forgot what it's called.
Gamma?
Gamma, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she turns into the Hulk. Or She-Hulk, I guess.
Almost immediately. So let's pop up, because we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's pop a little spoilers on it right now, because we're about to get into episode 1. So the details here. So if you have not watched She-Hulk, fast forward like by a bit. Just kind of feel it out. But we're gonna go ahead and discuss episode 1. It's the only episode that's out right now. So I watched it. Jason watched it. What did you think about the way they, kind of introduced this new character? What her role in the MCU is going to be? Things like that.
I think they introduced it fine. They kind of, it was like a fast pace. Like we got her turning into the Hulk within the first few minutes of the show.
It's a half-hour episode, right?
Yeah, it was kind of short. But yeah, like I think they're pacing it a little fast. Like there wasn't a whole lot of build up to it, but I mean, I didn't mind it because I wasn't really expecting anything much for the show.
Yeah.
Because
They set it up quick so they can get to like the Hulk stuff later on.
yeah. So, and like there's a lot of talk about the CGI when the trailers first came out, but honestly, like with the show, I think
They fixed it.
Yeah.
They did fix it by the time the show came out.
Yeah, so
Not
that
a
was-
lot of people knew if that was going to be the case.
Yeah, because like we got a trailer like 2 weeks before it came out, and the CGI was still spotty. So glad they got that done.
Sure.
There were some like cringe moments in the show, I will say. But one thing that I like is they're not like, it is a female forward show, but they're not pushing it like they did in was it Endgame? Like
That scene?
yeah, that scene in
Oh my
Endgame.
gosh.
So like that's nice to see. They're not shoving it down our throats or anything. It's just kind of a natural progression of it. And then there was that TikTok you sent of the Hulk going, bruh, there's like $10 million worth of damage.
Bro.
Bruh. Like,
Yeah.
Come on, why is he talking like that?
Yeah.
I don't like what happened to the Hulk, man? Like, he's just so weird now.
So they kind of pander a little bit with this, at least this episode. Overall, yeah, I liked it. I had a couple gripes. 3-ish particular things. I think the character buildup was definitely sped up for She-Hulk. I think she's, maybe I like the training stuff. It doesn't always have to be like montages and stuff like that. I want to see a little more there for her. Like it kind of, and again, spoilies, but like they kind of just like cut straight to like, she just knows how to do these things that took Bruce Banner forever to master, which is okay, for sure, fine if that's the plot, right? But or at least the plot of the first episode, but we were so invested every phase up till now in this long journey that Bruce Banner went from being like, from when he was, Edward Norton, and then he actually took over for the Hulk. And since the first Avengers movie, he was this brooding, crazy, uncontrollable monster. And so he kind of worked through that over the course of the next few movies. Obviously, a lot of focus there on Ragnarok when that came out. And now, he's just kind of like there, but he's not, I don't feel his significance. And it's not his show. Okay, yes. Well, granted, it's not his show. But it doesn't mean you can't make him like a little more badass.
Yeah.
I want a little bit. I want him to do some like cool Hulk shit, and they show some cool Hulk shit in there. I'm hoping we see like a little more as the show progresses. The second thing is, and it's pretty much 2 things. It wasn't 3. The second thing was I'm kind of like shifty on. I don't know how to feel about it yet. Is I think this is the second official time. I'm not counting other stuff, but the second official time that an MCU character breaks the 4th wall.
Yeah, I didn't understand the 4th wall.
How do you feel about that?
I don't get it. Like, why is it in there? Like, it didn't make sense to me to have that in there. Like, because that's the only time that. Excuse me. That's the only time they
We're getting
acknowledged
clicks
it.
off that, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is this gonna be a 4th wall break show? Like, I don't know.
It looks like it. It looks like it because everything the training stuff was all flashback from a 4th wall break.
Yeah.
She was like, it was definitely you're probably wondering how I got here, So I'm interested in that, but only if it's done right, because I've never really seen it done outside of like Deadpool, where it should be. Because in the comics, he breaks the 4th wall.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing he does.
So,
I think it's pretty interesting. So I guess in that same vein, what are you thinking about Phase 4 with the films, TV shows? Like,
it's been a bit of a letdown. Like, we're just so used and accustomed to all the other phases before. Like, this phase feels different. It doesn't feel like they put everything into it, which I get they're starting to build up for Secret Wars and everything. But you still could have made some quality movies and shows. So we'll see. Like, I think it ends with Fantastic Four, probably in 2022 or 2024. I can't remember which one. But so far, the only good movies that I've liked from it have been Spider-Man, and yeah. I mean, Shang-Chi was good, but
Fantastic Four, by the way, is unofficially confirmed. So very excited about that.
yeah.
Or I guess it is actually confirmed. They
Yeah.
did show it on the yeah. JK. So yeah, Shang-Chi was dope. Spider-Man was dope.
That's about it.
And there we go. Yeah, like that's, so from
Multiverse was a big letdown.
Doctor Strange multiverse in the multiverse of madness. I don't want to get too much into the actual to the movies themselves, but I will say there were a lot of opportunities with Doctor Strange that made it feel like it fell flat. Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, we didn't really get the movie a lot of us were like wanting to get out of it, which is one to really push everything forward. I'm not seeing how everything ties together in Phase 4. I thought Spider-Man No Way Home had a great basis, especially after having seen Loki, where I'm like, okay, I can see where they're gonna go with it next. But then everything after Spider-Man didn't really, like, Black Widow aside, because they did her awfully dirty. And then Eternals, we won't really, we won't talk about it too much because
The coolest part of Eternals was the end when you hear Blade's voice, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because it was such a mid movie.
Yeah.
So yikes for Eternals. Then Spider-Man comes along. It was awesome, very, very dope, very, very cool experience just across the board for everyone who's a Spider-Man fan, especially the cinematic versions. And then,
Thor was a letdown.
Thor was a letdown. Doctor Strange was a letdown. And these were people that were fighting Thanos. You know what I mean? Like, they're just chilling now.
They just Disney-fied the out of
They're
Thor.
just very Disneyed now. Everyone was like thinking like, oh man, is that going to be the whole thing? And then we all got like bamboozled by the rest of, I guess, Phase 3. And now we saw where the plans were waiting for. It wasn't anywhere in Phase 3.
Yeah.
They probably all had that in production, written, ready to go. And now we're seeing some weird stuff. So I haven't seen Miss Marvel, but I heard it was kind of whatever.
Yeah. So I heard like the first episode was really good, and it was all right after that.
Yeah. So we'll see what ends up with, what ends up happening with Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther, and then also Ant-Man is supposed to be like
Quantumania, baby.
Yeah, I think that's when the shows really start to tie into the movies.
The Kang stuff,
Yeah,
my guy.
so that'd be cool to see finally, because like with all these new movies, we're like, okay, but what about this stuff in the show that's been happening? Like, how does that tie in? So
They hard teased Kang the Conqueror for earlier on. I think it was in Loki. And I'm very excited to see what that turns into, because that's the stuff I want to see. People are saying Secret Wars. People are saying it's going to lead into at least the MCU version of that. And I want to start seeing those things happen.
yeah,
So I'm kind of waiting. But I think Ant-Man is what I'm most excited for in that regard. And then Guardians 3 might be great if they use the fact that they're like in kind of outer space situation, like their outer space crew. It's an easier way to bring in a lot more of that Secret
this
Wars
is the
stuff.
last Guardians movie, so I think everybody's gonna want to go out pretty well.
It's going to be a big one.
Yeah,
And then Fantastic Four. We'll see what happens there. I think Phase 4. Give it
better.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10 for Phase 4 out of 10 there.
right.
Boom. And that kind of wraps up the
MCU talk.
MCU. But since we're on the kind of movies realm, film, there are some recent movies that Jason and I watched that were pretty great movies this year, standout movies in 2022. The first one being a movie I believe both written and directed by B.J. Novak, otherwise known as Ryan from The Office, Ryan Howard. And it's called Vengeance. Now, it takes place in Texas, right here in Texas. And it is, kind of this like, it's like a heartfelt, heartwarming story that also deals with like murder mystery. And, the character that BJ Novak plays is like a great character for him to play.
Yeah, he crushed that role. I mean, he wrote it for himself probably, but yeah, he crushed it.
Yeah, I mean, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because it's, like New York, writer for the New York Times, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
And he's just coming over to Texas because there's this girl that he was like with for just a little bit. She was moited, and then he gets invited to her funeral. So he goes down to Texas to write a story about everything, and it is nuts.
Yeah, it turned into like a great movie. It's funny. It's
great for Texans.
Yeah, great.
It's also great for Texans.
Great Texas representation. I loved it.
Yeah, Tex rep.
They got they threw Whataburger in there a couple times. It was
Boy.
great to see that.
Yep.
Finally getting their flowers.
They made fun of all the different like main cities and
Yeah,
Texas. That was fun.
And it was a great comedy relief and a kind of murder mystery movie. I would say.
Murder mystery.
Because they go around trying to find who killed this girl.
It gets pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's a wild ride for sure, and it's a great watch.
Yeah.
We highly recommend it. What would you give it?
I'll give that like an 8.5.
Cool. 8.5. I'll give it a 8.4. I'm gonna pop some new coals on. Yeah. If you want to bring us into the final topic here. Sure.
Our second movie that we've seen recently is Nope. Comes from the mind of Jordan Peele. It's his third. I can hear that rapper from over here. It's his third directed movie, and it's about an alien spaceship.
Alien spaceship.
Yeah, I guess we never really found out what it was. It was like a living spaceship, or that was the alien.
Spoilers. Nope was nuts. Nope was nuts because it's like a horror film it's just unsettling.
Yeah.
It's unsettling. The stars of the movie were standout. I know.
I can't remember the names. I'm not even gonna try.
Dang it. Yeah. We'll put their names up here. But they just did a fantastic job of like really like kind of like the pacing of the movie, especially for like being like a UFO movie, which I haven't watched a UFO movie I think since like Independence Day.
Yeah, honestly.
So, and then Will Smith is comedian slapper now, so we can't even watch that. We can't have any more fun,
Thanks, Will Smith.
Thanks, Will Smith, and thanks to that one director that always makes those f***ing movies.
Jerry Bruckheimer? No, he's a producer.
No, but that's close.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll put it up here.
Yeah.
We'll put it up here. It's the comeback episode. Every episode's the comeback episode at this point. What was your favorite thing about Nope?
Gordy. Those are some intense.
The Gordy scenes.
scenes.
Oh my gosh, the Gordy scenes.
That was wild. You just see, was it ape or monkey? Chimpanzee, yeah. Just tearing people's face off and bloody knuckles. Like, ugh. It was intense. Like
It's
sitting
crazy.
there in silence, hearing a monkey slam against somebody's body. It was shocking.
And I think that's one of the crazy things is like people always like make that connection with like animals with like Jordan Peele films. There's like animal symbolism in a lot of them, all of them. But this is really where like they take it up to a new level, whole new notch.
And also, what I did like too is the relation between I think the character's name was Jupe. Him trying to tame the spaceship and using it as promotional stuff, like he did with his horses.
Yeah, there's more symbolism in like the way that people make money off of like animals,
They just
creatures.
have them for show and
Yeah.
stuff like that, rather than like the farmers. I can't remember the character's name, but like they were the ones raising the horses and like training them and everything.
Yeah, they break them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like he knew not to look in the spaceship's eyes or look at the spaceship because his horses don't like eye contact. So he made that relation in that way too.
It was really cool to see.
Yeah,
It was different than like your regular scary movie, and that was a fun time.
yeah, it was a nice, refreshing horror movie, I guess.
Horror. Hoors. Little Sunny reference for you, coming at you quick. Boom.
Jesus.
They don't all have to go into the microphone, Jason.
Sorry.
I might have to like bleep that. We're gonna get flagged on YouTube for inappropriate sexual references. Very sexual. I think that about wraps up the topics, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Not a super long episode,
No.
but
Good for a comeback.
yeah, nice little bite-sized, almost 42 minutes here.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I guess, yeah, that wraps it up for episode 4. Keep an eye out again on our TikTok for all those new updated videos. They're going to be, I'm sure, super goofy. And yeah, we'll be putting this out hopefully very soon. But as always, keep an eye out on our pages, be it YouTube, Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and of course our TikTok. So also Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts if you are listening rather than watching. And I guess on that note, thank you for listening if you're listening. Thank you for watching if you're watching. This has been episode 4, season 3 of Memes and Dreams. And we'll see you on the next one in the farewell tour.
Peace.
Laters.